Okay, well, the stream's going out. I don't know if it's showing up on YouTube yet.
Nope,
I don't. Doesn't look like it. Because I need to.
nothing.
I think I need to initiate it from Restream.
Oh,
Let's see.
something's happening.
No, come on. Are you serious?
Yeah, I think we are live on YouTube.
Whoa, that's crazy. Oh, okay. Well, that's weird. Oh shit.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm in Restream. I thought I could like pull up the chat or something, but
I will say nothing until you've got figured out that thing because I'm hearing myself on YouTube.
okay, right. Switch ads to the stream. Okay, this is really weird because it's telling me this thing lets you stream on its service rather than just like pulling your video through, and I want to pull the video through, but
Hmm.
this is weird. Okay, that's a problem.
Okay. Well, people are watching us. Also can entertain them while you try to figure out this thing.
It's just because I think that it does a really good job of pulling the chat. Like it pulls the chat from Twitter, Twitch, and the chat from YouTube. But this is just driving me crazy. Hold on a sec. I'll do this the old-fashioned way.
Nice. David Hills can hear me talking to myself from the past.
It's so strange. Okay. Uh, let's see if I can do this the old-fashioned way because Restream is not easy to figure out, apparently. Oh, fuck. Oh, wait. What are these
Okay.
options? One sec.
Maybe I just talk while you and entertain the folks while you figure it out. So first of all, good evening or good day, whatever, from wherever you're tuning in. And while our internet magician is trying to get the thing running,
I'm more of an
uh,
internet fumbler, but sure, okay.
you used to be the internet magician, but that was probably back in the day.
And then I put on pants that were 3 sizes too big, and now I'm just swimming around in them.
Okay, it's cool that no one's actually seeing what I'm doing.
They're not?
Nope.
The video's not up?
Oh, it does. My hands are just too low. I need
Oh,
to.
okay.
So, as you can not see because my hands are in the way, I have two things I want to start tonight. I have these two figures from Brother Vinny. Yes, Brother Vinny can do something else than medium well sculpted naked ladies. He actually does some pretty cool historic uh, miniatures, in my opinion. Is He has like Vikings and all sorts of stuff. And what I really like about this dude is that when there still were fairs, that he came to the Spiel in Essen to sell his miniatures, and it was always a sight to behold. It was this uh, grim-looking tall dude who rarely spoke, but what he had with him was a big box of miscasts. And every piece from that box was €1, and every year since he came to Essen, we ran there in hope to grab some cool stuff for cheap. And what I got was this Viking. I already chopped off the head. It was supposed to be Ragnar from the series of Vikings. And what I'm having is this I would say pseudo Arabic dude who won't be long wearing his head as well. And I realized that I'm working currently on terrain for a for our Frostgrave thing. Um, hashtag V-alignment 28.
Get the hashtag in there.
Yeah, shall I write it down so people can read it?
Hey, if you want to. I think I may have made some magic happen. One sec. Or I'm starting to make magic happen. Okay, that. What?
Okay, there you go.
Pop out enabled. Okay, good. Come on, magic. Let's see the magic.
Okay, show the magic.
Sorry. You go ahead.
Um, so yeah, I realized I don't have enough random fishermen, so I want to build those, turn those two leftovers into fishermen, and this one will. The plan is that he will be carrying a how do you call those things? Fishing.
Like
The
a
fishing line is on a fishing
fishing rod?
rod. Yes. So this will be his fishing rod. He will be carrying it on his shoulder, like yeah, coming from the fishing. And I have this wonderful bucket arm, and so he will get the bucket arm carrying a bucket full of fish on the other side. And I was puzzling for a while what I will do with the one leg, and it came up to me that I will just keep him one-legged and make him a typical pirate wood leg dude, um, holding himself stable on a crane on the one arm, and on the other arm I want to give him like he's carrying a big fishing net. So I think that's the plan. We'll
Nice.
see how far it can get tonight.
Okay, the magic is starting to happen. Oh, I don't know if you can see the magic. Are you watching on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I made the chat happen. The YouTube chat.
Okay. Yes, you do.
I just
It's
have
there.
to. I've also got the Twitch chat, but there's no one in the Twitch chat. So I figure I'll put it up just in case someone shows up. But probably no one's going to show up. Probably I did all of this for nothing. Well, might as well try. And one day some people might show up. Maybe they'll show up on Saturday for our epic thing. Do you want to talk about what we're doing on Saturday? So that people know to tune in?
Say again.
Do you want to tell people what we're planning for Saturday? The next stream this week.
Well, yeah, I can tell, but it was basically coming from the idea that we have so little time, as you are in Canada and I am in Germany. We have spent so much time talking about hobby, but so little time so far that we spend time together for with doing hobby, that we figured it would be fun to actually do some sculpting and whatever at the same time. So what we did was we came up with the idea to sculpt at the same time, and it wouldn't be Mr. Ping's how to sculpt if we would just sit down and sculpt something. So if you want to, you can leave your requests for what we shall sculpt on Mr. Ping's Instagram. Or probably you can dump it in here as well.
Yeah, you can totally dump it here. That's what I... Oh! Whoa, what? Flynnhammer's in Twitch and says private chat. I don't know what the hell that's about. Is it because I'm the only one in there? Apparently, Flynnhammer is he on Twitch and on YouTube right now? That'd be confusing. Okay. I think I've hacked the world.
Nice.
You ready for some exciting times?
Yeah, is there more? Oh.
So now we got double chat.
Nice.
But I think more people are going to be active on YouTube. So until that changes, I'm going to give YouTube the lion's share.
Nice.
Sorry, Flimhammer. It's not you. It's me.
Yeah, of course.
So maybe we can finally do something.
I'm already doing things.
You're a good man. You keep doing things.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out how to place the arm with the rod.
Oh shit, and we need to get Kajan in here. What the hell am I doing? I'm the worst. Okay, one sec.
Okay. Ja, eine Minute.
Bring Bosch back on. Oh, Force Spike's
Okay.
here. Awesome. I heard you say eine Minuten. I'm like, do we have to bring Bosch on?
Yeah, he will be there when you're ready to take over.
Okay, I think we've got Kajan. Kajan, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Can you hear him, Simon?
Yes, sort of.
Hopefully people on the stream can... oh, shit. Ishan showed up and took over Flynn Hammer's private chat. Hopefully people on the stream can also hear Kajan.
I'm hearing your YouTube.
You're hearing it?
Yes.
Do you have it open? Did you unmute it or something?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not the only internet wizard.
Damn it. Okay, now that's way better. Now I'm not hearing myself talking all the time.
Sorry, what's that, Kajan?
It's a magical evening.
Yes, Kajan, can you hear? I guess Kajan, if you want to like mute YouTube, can you hear Simon through this voice connection with me?
I have YouTube muted and I hear him.
Perfect. Okay, how many minutes are we into this stream? We are now 11 minutes into the stream, and I think I'm ready to start.
Nice.
What a fucking amateur, eh? Jeez.
It's not that we're getting paid for it or anything.
Yeah, good point. That's how we disguise our failures. Well, you're not paying for this. I mean, what were you expecting? This is amateur hour. We're just working out our new material on you. Okay.
So Dark Matter Workshop said earlier that he is basically a neighbor to Hydra.
Oh, yeah? Hear that, Hydra? You got a neighbor.
Really?
Dark Matter Workshop? Yeah, where are you at, Dark Matter?
And the chat is curious if you two stopped trash talking on Instagram.
I think we exhausted all of our trash talking. We talked about sausages and we talked about maple syrup, and really there isn't anything else to talk about when it comes to Canada or Germany.
Yeah. Our beer. Beer could be a point.
Oh, I got a fun thing that I wanted to share. Sculpting related. So everyone knows I left putty on my tool. How embarrassing. Everyone knows this lovely sculpting tool. Simon, do you have yours there?
I have mine here as well, yes.
Here, let's do a thing where, like, I put mine down through my video, and it comes down into yours.
Okay.
Come on, line it up! By our powers combined. Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay, this is not entertaining. Oh, yeah, look at this quality. I think we're like totally delayed. Okay, this is stupid. Sorry. Okay, so we got this. This is a Hydra sculpting tool. Well, this is not the Hydra sculpting tool. This is the Hydra sculpting tool, which is 2 nails shoved in the end of a paintbrush. But this is the updated new sexiness Hydra sculpting tool, which is a really nice... oh, you got your own there. Nice. A really nice silicone shaper tool that Hydra gave me, and I'm obsessed with. And then my other 2 favorite tools are this spoon tool, and this... used to be Games Workshop knife tool, but now I don't think they make this anymore. But I've been trying to find a replacement for this tool on the internet because I can't really find the same tool again. I literally stole this from my brother 10 years ago. I never gave it back. But I found these tools that... Oh shit, Hydra, did you leave your... I think he left his YouTube unmuted.
The spoon tool, which is the one you're just referring to, right?
Yeah.
You can get a spoon tool like that from the sculpting set. I bought one, and it's looking just like that.
Which sculpting set is that?
the Army Painter sculpting set.
Yes, you're right. I grabbed one of those. In fact, I had one of those, and I gave that spoon tool to my Ho-Ho Hobby Vices victim. So that is you're right, that is the closest thing I've found to the spoon tool. But I was really hoping to be able to share the tool. There we go, that's a better view. Share the tool with people who don't who don't want to buy that full sculpting set. That is a good sculpting set. So I looked on the internet, and someone had recommended a tool. And see this tiny little thing? Look at the size difference. So this has got like a knife on one end, and it's got kind of a spoon on the other end, but it's a really small spoon compared to the size of this one. And you're right, Kajan, that the Army Painter set has a spoon tool about this size. And if you can get the Army Painter set, that's a good option. But I was really hoping to find a way to just get a bunch of these separate from the Army Painter set so that I could like share them with people who need them. But I don't know, this thing might be cool. I'm going to try it out. I'm really eager to see how it does. Because when I've tried other spoon tools, I don't know how you find it, Kajan, but the one I have is very smooth right around to the edge, whereas some of the other ones, I feel like it's smooth on like this axis, but then it's kind of like has sharp edges on the sides. It's more like a flat thing that's curved in one axis rather than a totally round spoon. But this one...
Fortunately, nature has invented sandpaper.
I hate sandpaper. I don't ever want to use sandpaper after I sculpt. I want to sculpt something and I want it to be good the first time.
No, I mean sandpaper for the tool.
You're right.
To round off the edges and stuff.
I did get crazy one time and try to use like a knife sharpening block to sharpen these tools and also to kind of round these. That is a good point. Although that's a lot more work than I want. I just want to be able to buy this thing and then just be able to send it to people if they need it.
So I'm back.
Hey, welcome back.
So you said you want to take sandpaper to a sculpting tool?
Yeah, to make a spoon more round. Kajan was saying you could just sand down something that isn't perfectly round. But Hydra, I wanted to show you this crazy new sculpting tool that I got off the internet. It's very small, first of all.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like a tool for ants. Ow! I just stabbed myself with it. It's very pokey. So here it is in comparison to the silicone shaper.
So you mean something like that?
Oh, do you have the exact same one? You bastard. What's on the other end?
There's a curved tip thingy. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what I just got.
I have that thing lying around for ages, and I have not found a use for it, because I assume that it's for carving wax.
Well, this is a dental tool. I bought this to see if it could be a replacement for this. I wouldn't call it a replacement, but I'm still going to try it out and see like how it performs.
Okay.
But, Kajan, how are we doing in the chat? Are people making some recommendations for what we should sculpt on Saturday?
Yeah, I was waiting for Hydra to return so he can hear as well. Flinhammer said he wants you guys to do a crude Gene Stealer hybrid.
What do you think about that, Simon?
Crude Gene Stealer hybrid?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we should do something that people can use.
Well, I think Flinhammer could use that, and like we might be able to use that. But yeah, I agree that the goal of the stream is to do kind of like stuff that people can use for conversions. So like the idea is if you want to fill in a gap on like a model, like you've got two arms where they join together and you need to find something cool, or like you have like a head and you want to make it different, so you want to put like a oh god, you want to put a hood on him or something like that, or like some hair or like flames or a beard or something like that. More of that kind of stuff. Like I feel like maybe we could do another one of these some future time when we sculpt like weird esoteric Xenos. But for this one, we want to make it kind of more widely applicable. So if there's stuff like that you want to know how to sculpt, like I think a lot of people have suggested sculpting cloth. Some people have people here have suggested hair and flames a lot. So I feel like that should be one that we try. That kind of stuff.
Peter Hampson suggested helms and hats.
Hands and heads?
I'm gonna hang him by...
Also helmet and hat.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Someone also suggested hands in Instagram, which I think is a really good suggestion.
Yeah.
Helmets and heads. Yeah, there's a lot of different kinds of helmets, but we could kind of get into that.
Yeah. Hands, seriously, I tried several times because I figured, well, looking at all those sculpted hands, it shouldn't be too hard. You know, just take a blob, make a couple of lines, and oh, damn it. In all my years, I have not managed to sculpt it properly once.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, this will be interesting because the whole point of the Saturday thing is that we want to get the two of us on there, and we're going to get Brother Pink to come in, and he's going to make suggestions from people's comments and all that about what we should sculpt, and maybe he's going to pick stuff that's going to be challenging. Oh God, this is a mess. Maybe he's going to pick stuff that's going to be challenging for us. So if you think that hands is so challenging, Simon, maybe we should do that.
Yeah. That will be short past then.
Okay. Well, the goal is to do a number of things. So what I initially wanted to do was initially wanted you and I to be kind of working on the same thing at the same time. So it's kind of like a head-to-head, not necessarily race, but so people could see us solving the same problem in different ways.
Yep.
But Brother Pink is a very smart boy, and a lot of my best ideas I've ever had have come from him. So he was like, okay, yeah, that's cool, and if you want to do that, I'll support you. But if we have a limited time for the stream, wouldn't it be smarter if you guys were doing different things at the same time? So that we got twice as much sculpting video?
Ooh.
So what do you think?
That's clever.
He's a clever boy.
He is. He also got the looks.
Hey, what the hell are you talking about? I got the looks.
Boxwine Bandit suggested the joints of Tyranids, particularly Broodlords and Patriarch models.
I feel like haven't I done that? I guess I haven't done that. I may have done that on one of these sculpting streams and not on like a real how to sculpt video.
I asked you about one of them and you said it just turned out that way.
Well, that's how a lot of my sculpting honestly turns out, Kajan. I just like mess with it and I'm like, oh, okay, that works. Simon, how do you feel about that?
About Tyranid limbs?
Just like about haphazard sculpting accidents. How much of your sculpting is planned and how much of it is like, well, shit, that'll work?
There has been a German politician who recently said the answer to this might either sue you or concern you. So no, that wasn't translated right.
Oh, you mean like you might feel like reassured by it, or you might feel concerned by it?
The true answer to this question might concern you. I think that's the correct translation.
No, I think you should be honest, because I hope that your answer is what I expect it to be.
Yeah, I basically don't think much about things and just go and do, because I can spend time thinking about things, or I can just, do things, and if I run down into a dead end of some sort, I can either abandon the project or redo it.
Yeah.
And from every redoing, there's a lesson to it.
True. I'm the same way. I just kind of like I sculpt the things that I know. Like I sculpt like this part of the arm, and I sculpt this part of the arm, and if I don't know what to do there, I'll look at another Tyranid and try and figure it out, or I'll try and take like a existing piece of Tyranid design and try and like shove it in there. But that's how I learned to sculpt, was by just doing it and messing around and having Hydra tell me what to do.
Nah. I wish it was that way, seriously.
You could just get yourself to tell you what to do?
Yeah.
Well, my thing is that I've had people... I feel like I can get a sense when someone's asking me questions about sculpting and they're not actually doing it. Like, I know there's different kinds of folks. Like, there's people like us who are like, oh, what the hell, I'll just try it and figure it out. But I know there's also people who like to plan things and, like, be prepared and walk into it, like, well prepared. I can't comment on you, Simon, but I'm not always that kind of person. I'm more of a fly by the seat of my pants, get there and figure out what I've got and how I'm going to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, and unfortunately, a lot of sculpting, you learn it by doing it, by messing around, and as you said, making mistakes and then learning from mistakes. So I think that's one of the most important lessons that you just gotta you gotta try it.
Yep.
And then
That's one thing, and another thing I'm coming to realize as I'm getting older is that it's if you can start early, don't push it too far. Like, oh yeah, I can do that one time. Just when you're new to the hobby, start with it right away.
like you mean start like practicing sculpting?
Yeah, because there's such a steep learning curve. Like there's so many things you start trying out things, and suddenly someone comes along and says, "Hey, have you tried Nivea?" And suddenly your sculpting world goes boom, and it all makes sense all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And those things, and I think at least that's my observation. The older I get, and the more family I have, the less time I have.
Yeah.
So I don't have that much time for experimentation as I used to. I
Yeah.
don't have that much time for trial and error. I just, when I want to have something, I either need to buy it or need to think of how I can sculpt it.
Yeah.
And I feel that more and more that all the years previously to the last, I would say, 3 years since my first son was born, has been basically the training, the boot camp for what I am now. That
For hobby on a family?
Yeah, I I don't know. If I would have to go back and relearn everything again and again and again, I would probably at some point say, well, that's not relaxing. That's just relearning things, and yeah, I still like to experiment. That's no question, but
Yeah.
yeah, feels like, especially with sculpting, I want to have something at some point, and I don't want to, smear a putty on things and rip it off again and smear stuff on. So
Yeah, but so I'd say definitely try it. Like Simon said, get started early and get your hands dirty and try it. And then the thing is that like I've got video tutorials and stuff up, but I feel like the video tutorials are more useful once you've messed around a bit because you can like watch the video tutorials and like take all the notes you want and be like, I've watched all the video tutorials. I'm going to be a master sculptor now. And if you've never touched the
nope.
putty, it's a different experience to actually work with it.
Yeah.
Like Kajan, you've been doing a lot of sculpting. Like you've been trying to, it seems like, really learn sculpting through just scratch sculpting things, which I think is like very admirable. And also, I think you're a little bit crazy because that's a lot of work. Like right off the get go. The other thing I wanted to say is that the best way to learn how to sculpt is just sculpting things into conversions. Like use as much of the existing model pieces as you can for reference. But how are you finding it doing so much scratch sculpting?
I'm finding it. Some is difficult, some is not. It's difficult to explain, at least for me. Like the gene stealer, not gene stealer, the lictor grasping claws talents I put on Twitter. Those are all scratch sculpted, but using an existing piece as reference material. So it was a little easier in that aspect because I used the bone sword as basically as guideline.
Yeah.
The most difficult thing for me is proportions.
Yes, I would agree with that. How do you feel about that, Simon? Proportions.
Absolutely. I have come to understand that I am basically unable to do something from scratch.
Like a human body or something from scratch?
Yeah, like everything. That goes beyond the sculpting thing. When I'm in university when you have to write stuff, I always found it way easier to piece things together. Like, well, this looks like it should go there, and this looks like it should.
Sorry, I had to vacuum. I had to vacuum, so I muted the stream and I muted Kajan, but I left you on to deal with it.
Okay.
Are your ears dead now?
No, I'm fine.
Okay,
I was
sorry.
just
Sorry, go
thinking
ahead.
about that.
So you tried sculpting things from scratch.
Yeah, and I feel like it's way easier to piece things existing things together and then sculpt the thing in between than to sculpt something from scratch. Like the lictor bust I did was the first thing I have ever sculpted from scratch, and there I think just two or three other things I've ever sculpted.
Sorry, are you
And
referring to the Lictor bust that I think is the greatest thing you've ever sculpted? Is one of the things you sculpted from scratch?
yes,
Wow, you did pretty well.
thank
Um,
you.
Sorry, go ahead, Kajan.
yeah, I just wanted to say chat has provided a couple more suggestions, but I didn't want to interrupt you too.
Oh yeah, sure. What are the so these are suggestions for sculpting?
Scale armor and chainmail was one of the suggestions.
Simon, how do you
S-
feel about sculpting chainmail and scale armor? I don't do any fantasy stuff, so I'm not really into that. But like, how do you feel about it, being a fantasy guy?
Oh Jesus, I'm not a fantasy guy.
You are. You're a Frostgrave guy. That's fantasy, bud.
Uh, okay, I think I tried to mimic chainmail, but that most of the time ended in poking the putty with uh, poking the putty with a needle.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was sculpting. I was working on the goblin style miniature, and that was it so far.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like I have not seen a convincing chainmail so far. When I look at this Viking dude I have here,
Mm-hmm.
he has some sculpted on chainmail as well,
Yeah.
but it doesn't look like chainmail.
Can you hold it up
Looks-
closer to the camera?
Yeah, let's see. Let me see if I can. Ooh,
Put your hand
focus.
behind it.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, there you go.
Focus
Oh, you
switch.
got a focus thing. Good.
There you go. You see that?
Yeah, a little lower.
Lower. There.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't really
Yeah.
look that much like chainmail.
Nope. Nope. Yeah. So.
So with you, I was just gonna say that, kind of related to this, and with what you were saying before about not like being kind of wary about getting proportions right. That's why I try to sculpt. I try to rip off as much model components as I can when I'm making something, rather than trying to sculpt it from scratch. Just because some things are really hard to do.
Yeah.
Um,
Best example is look at here when the dude I'm working on right now. I have put this tiny piece of plastic that is supposed to be his upper arm, and I will attach the underarm, the lower arm to it to make him hold some nettings.
yeah.
That's I would say 3 millimeter of plastic, and one could say that I could have sculpted that, but I think that would have turned out not as satisfying as just uh, cutting the piece of plastic into shape.
Yeah, and it's also the case that sometimes you can save time because Games Workshop gives us so many components. So I don't want to like, I don't know, poo-poo on anyone, but one of the suggestions for our sculpt along thing was to sculpt faces. And I'm like, okay, but as you said, proportions are really hard. And when we have, like, when we're in a miniature hobby like this, and Games Workshop supplies us with so many heads and so many faces of all different types and sizes, I'm it's kind of like, I was just thinking about it, and it's kind of like if you want to make a sandwich, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, I'm going to make a sandwich. And then you go and you get some bread and you get some like condiments or whatever, and you get some meat and some cheese and some toppings. And you come home and you're like, okay, I'm going to make a sandwich. And someone says to you, well, why didn't you bake the bread? And it's like, well, I could bake the bread because there's like recipes to bake bread on the internet, and I could take the time and I could knead the dough and all that. And I could bake it so that I'm making more of the sandwich myself. Or I could go to one of the 15 stores within a 5-minute drive, buy bread, and save that time. So a lot of people like, I'll take a model and I'll sculpt on top of the model and use that model kind of like a reference for scale and like as an armature. And people will be like, well, if you're going to sculpt over it, why wouldn't you just sculpt it from scratch? And I don't know. I think it's that whole fear of like screwing up proportions, that when you sculpt on top of something, you can use that as your guide. Or like if you sculpt in between two existing pieces, they're your guide for proportions. You don't have to figure it all out from scratch.
Yeah, I'm totally there with you.
My solution to the issue was I'm drawing it out on paper and using the paper as a guideline. I don't sculpt onto paper. I just have it to hold onto the piece to see if I'm
Yeah.